Just when you thought it was the final curtain, the movie musical got a second act. Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 best modern movie musicals.
In a spitting match, nobody spits like a storm.
Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're taking a look at the absolute best movie musicals from the early 2000s and beyond. We've excluded Disney animated musicals, because let's be honest, they'd probably take up like half the list. Number 10, Into the Woods.
I know what my decision is, which is not to decide.
After spending years in development hell, Into the Woods finally got the cinematic treatment, with director Rob Marshall behind the camera. Assembling an ensemble of fairy tale icons, Into the Woods has no shortage of familiar storylines.
The woods are just trees, the trees are just wood. No need to be afraid
There's something in the glade there.
What makes this musical so distinctive, however, is that the characters all live happily ever after by the conclusion of Act 1. They eventually realize, though, that maybe their so-called happy endings weren't what they truly wanted, amounting to an unpredictable second act. While not as dark as James Lapine and Stephen Sondheim's original vision, this stunning adaptation still does its source material justice, with an appropriate blend of satire, tragedy, and bittersweet moments.
Agony! Oh, the torture they teach!
Number 9, Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street.
But there's no place like London. No, there's no place like London.
Where most people view musicals as bright, colorful, and joyous, Sweeney Todd is dark, brooding, and flat-out sadistic. As a master of gothic horror, director Tim Burton was the ideal visionary to adapt Stephen Sondheim and Hugh Wheeler's thrilling musical for the big screen. Johnny Depp might not have an angelic Broadway voice, but he brings a rock star quality to the film's titular homicidal barber.
Pretty women, fascinating, sipping coffee.
Helena Bonham Carter is equally charismatic as Mrs. Lovett, who bakes Mr. Todd's victims into her meat pies.
Did you come in for a pie, son? Do forgive me if me head's a little vague. What was that? But you think we had the play?
Showcasing astounding production value, unparalleled atmosphere, and bloody brilliant songs, Sweeney Todd further proved that the movie musical was back with a vengeance. Number 8, La La Land. Although the genre has returned in a big way, most movie musicals these days are adaptations of Broadway classics. La La Land is a diamond in the rough, standing out as a modern movie musical that was made entirely from scratch. Although director Damien Chazelle borrows heavily from Hollywood's golden era, his magical film still manages to be a beacon of originality, complete with magnetic music, infectious choreography, and a setting that feels alive. At the center of everything are Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling, as a couple of star-crossed lovers with big dreams. Winning 7 Golden Globes and 6 Oscars, La La Land inspired the fools who dream, and will do so for years to come.
She said she'd do it again.
Number 7, Beauty and the Beast. The 2017 live-action adaptation of the beloved animated classic had a lot to live up to. However, director Bill Condon, no stranger to bringing musicals to the silver screen, brought together a cast of both Hollywood greats, like Ian McKellen and Emma Thompson, and Broadway mainstays, like Josh Gad and Audra McDonald. The result was nothing short of magical, becoming the highest-grossing live-action musical ever, with new songs from Alan Menken and Tim Rice, along with vivacious versions of treasured songs like Be Our Guest and Gaston. This tale as old as time was accepted by audiences young and old with open arms.
Beauty and the Beast.
Number 6, Once.
I wouldn't trade her for gold.
It might be a musical, but Once takes an unconventional approach to the genre. The characters don't just spontaneously break out into lavish production numbers. The way director John Carney weaves music into the narrative feels incredibly natural, telling a believable love story about two struggling musicians. The result is one of the most poignant and uplifting movie musicals you'll ever experience. At least one song is guaranteed to hit you hard, whether it's When Your Mind's Made Up, If You Want Me, or the Oscar-winning Falling Slowly. Described as the little movie that could, once received universal critical acclaim, became a box office success, and inspired a Tony Award-winning stage adaptation.
When your mind's made up, there's no point in trying to change it.
Number 5. Chicago.
He had it coming. He had it coming. He only had himself to blame.
Director Rob Marshall injects Chicago with a dreamlike ambiance, energetic choreography, and all that jazz. The world is a musical through the eyes of Roxy Hart, an aspiring performer that'll do anything to be a star. Roxy takes center stage when she murders her lover in cold blood, and a slick lawyer tap dances to her defense. In addition to being a blast from start to finish, Chicago provides clever commentary on how a criminal can become an overnight celebrity. As Roxy inevitably learns, however, every celebrity criminal's 15 minutes of fame are numbered. The first musical to win Best Picture since 1968's Oliver, it's safe to say that Chicago hit all the right notes. Number 4. Hairspray.
Good morning, Baltimore. There's the flasher who lives next door.
Of all the musicals on this countdown, Hairspray is the one that's most likely to leave you shaking, shimmying, and smiling long after the credits roll. You probably wouldn't expect this to be a feel-good movie given its subject matter, which revolves around prejudice in 1960s America.
Hey, Mama, welcome to the 60s. Oh, 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 oh.
While Hairspray does possess a heavy message regarding civil rights and acceptance, it also bounces off the walls with uproarious comedy, bubbly songs, and lovable characters. The cast is uniformly excellent, featuring the likes of Michelle Pfeiffer, Christopher Walken, and Queen Latifah. Of course, it's Nikki Blonsky and John Travolta that bring down the house as Tracy and Edna Turnblad, never missing a single beat. Number 3. Moulin Rouge.
How wonderful life is. Now you're in the world.
Often cited as the movie musical that resurrected the genre, Moulin Rouge arguably paved the way for all the other films on this list. Baz Luhrmann's musical extravaganza blew audiences away back in 2001, packing jaw-dropping sets, hyper choreography, and over-the-top costumes into every shot.
A kiss on the hand. We are continental, but diamonds are a girl's best friend.
Ewan McGregor and Nicole Kidman are simply spellbinding as Poet Christian and Courtesan Satine. Their love story for the ages is conveyed through a spectacular soundtrack, with a perfect mix of timeless love songs and contemporary hits. Moulin Rouge will have you dancing on air one second and crying a river of tears the next. Either way, it's impossible not to get sucked in by the film's boundless beauty.
We could steal time just for one day.
Number 2. Rent.
Bisexuals, trisexuals, homo sapiens, carcinogens, hallucinogens, men. Here we have it.
Modern movie musicals are known for attracting celebrities that have star power in spades, but limited singing range. Fortunately, this wasn't the case with Chris Columbus's adaptation of Jonathan Larson's musical Phenomenon. As a matter of fact, the film version of Rent reunited 6 main players from the original Broadway cast. Of course, a few welcome newcomers were also brought on board, with Rosario Dawson particularly hitting it out of the park as Mimi.
Let's go.
While it wasn't the biggest critical or commercial success upon release, this film wonderfully encompasses the stage production's raw humanity. If you're a Rent head, chances are you've seen the movie 525,600 times.
Seasons on.
Measure your life in love.
Before we get to our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
But as it is, I'll dream of her tonight. Die, 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 die. Falling, yes, I am falling, and she keeps calling me back again.
And I am telling you, I'm not going, even though there are times I show.
Did I see sirens go flying past? Though I don't know what tomorrow's bringing, I've got a singular impression things are moving too fast.
Number 1. Les Miserables.
Look down, don't look him in the eye.
Making its stage debut in 1980, the musical version of Victor Hugo's classic novel didn't reach the silver screen until 2012. For the longest time, many deemed this sung-through musical as unfilmable. In the end, though, director Tom Hooper delivered a triumphant adaptation that fired on all cylinders. Epic in scope and overflowing with grandeur, Les Miserables features one applaud-worthy moment after another. The highlight is Anne Hathaway's rendition of I Dreamed a Dream, which she performed in one uninterrupted take. Having the performer sing live on set only added another layer of authenticity, amounting to a movie musical that'll stick with you walking out of the theater, and at least one day more.
One day.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from MsMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.